Hey everybody, welcome back to Koali Zoo. I forgot which episode this was, but today I'm gonna work on a hotel building, which is kind of a very new venture for the zoo. But it's gonna fit in somewhere in the lower left corner on the map, and I'm building this on a separate map as always because my computer is totally dying even thinking of opening the actual Koali Zoo map at this point. But anyway, I've got some guests to introduce. As always, Lady and Rudi are here as well.
Hello.
Hello. I was about to say good evening, but I don't know which time it is for the people, so take whatever you want.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah. Okay, we got it covered.
All right.
A good day. Yes. Good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it is. Do you guys ever think of like randomly in your videos saying like very specific things that any viewer can just randomly pick up on? Like, I know you're watching this on a Tuesday, and then everybody who's watching on a Tuesday is just like,
yeah.
You did it.
No.
I did this once with the skipping. I just checked my videos and just looked where the people usually skip to, like which is the average time they skip to, and I just plugged that into the video and said, hey, I saw you skipping here, and I got like, I don't know, at least 30 comments saying, damn, you just caught me exactly in that second.
That's so cool.
Funny.
Yeah, I think you actually caught me with that one time. I vaguely remember seeing this as well.
I do this quite a few times.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's a great thing to put like at the end of your video when you get into the cinematics and you just notice that everybody watches that stuff, like skips to it from halfway through the video.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the funny part, as a viewer, you really feel caught, and that kind of is so engaging because, like, hey, damn, he thinks about that. What's going on here? So yeah. Oh man, Sylv, what's going on? I can already see there is something growing. Okay, that sounds wrong, but we are talking about architecture.
Yes, this is surely your opening line in the bedroom, innit?
Oh God!
Yeah, so
it's not my line, no.
Did you really just say that? Oh my gosh.
Okay, we have a lady with us. Hello.
It's Sylvia's channel, you have to be serious.
It's locker room talk. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm working on this thing, right? I was for a while actually. I've been planning to build a hotel in this specific spot because Koali Zoo is a big company. Koali in general is a big like venture capitalist holding or whatever it is, and sort of going with the times, zoos are becoming more and more like theme parks, and this zoo is already quite large and has lots of different facilities that maybe not every zoo has, and a hotel just feels like the right thing to add to it, especially considering that Koali Beach also had a very big like stay at the premises kind of deal with the Bora Bora huts by Corellis, which were really cool. It's going to be hard to live up to just how cool of a stay that would be because honestly these buildings aren't really going to be as interesting as hotel rooms, I think.
Well, you've been in Paradise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Paradise is super cool, like on-site premises where you can stay at. Have you actually seen those, lady?
I've seen some pictures, yeah, and I was like, oh my god, just imagine sleeping and at the other side of your window you have like a walrus or like a polar bear just swimming while you are in your bedroom. Like, what?
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I see it. Oh my god.
I really want to experience that once. I honestly would love to.
We're just gonna manate kind of crashing into your hotel room. That is awesome. Oh my god.
Well, I don't even know if they have it with aquariums, but it's really the polar bear or walrus as far as I know. Maybe a few other animals.
So what I do know is I haven't stayed at any of their like hotel rooms or apartment or kind of deals, but I've been in the zoo and I've like basically seen all of them because they're really in the park. Like in that case, it's not even like there's a hotel just outside the zoo where you maybe have a cool view. No, it's really in the middle of all the habitats. So, well, there's one kind of exception in the North American section, which is the newest section and which is where they have all of these hotels and like on-site stay things. They do have one large building next to the seals or the sea lions, somewhere in that corner which is just all hotel rooms kind of deal. So that is more standard. But then they also have at the wolf and bear enclosure, they have rooms which have just a window between you and the wolves and the bears, which is just super cool. It's also a combined habitat, so you get to see different animals as well. And those things actually remind me a lot of the
so
Shire
cool.
from The Hobbit.
Yeah, I just saw the images. Yeah, that's really. I have never heard of that.
So
honestly.
cool.
It's so cool.
They have a hill. Honestly, they have a hill, and like the houses are inside this hill. You go into it like a house from The Hobbit, and on the other side there's just a window where you can just have direct eyesight with the animals as you're like laying on your bed.
I just saw that picture of the hotel.
I think we need to do a Planet Zoo meetup there,
I guess
including
so,
a
yeah.
stay.
Yeah, I guess so.
That would
Sounds
be
like
awesome.
honestly sounds like a really cool
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I really didn't know it until like last week that they had this. Because I know a lot of people from the community would love to go to Paradise, but for me personally, it's just a little bit too far away. But if you can stay there, like that is just awesome.
Same here. That is incredible, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, even though I have to say it's also a bit scary, you know, considering you sleep there and you know that kind of I don't know how much does a normal grizzly bear weight or whatever. It's just sleeping like kind of 10 feet away from you on the other side of the glass. I mean, I had that kind of, you know, I am kind of brand marked on that side because I've been sleeping quite next to a freaking alligator in Miami. So I not want to do this again.
wow. Oh my
So it's
gosh.
quite frightening. That's honestly, it's just like when I've been 8 years old, we've been to Miami and we stayed in a hotel that was basically just next to a road. But they had all these signs like do not feed the alligator and blah, blah, blah. And no one really took that seriously. And one night I just got awake and we had a room together with my parents, my brother and me, and I had that bed right next to the front door, which was also like a double side glass, very like, I think it was even like a structure glass to be very safe and stuff. Now we know why. And then I just got awake and I just turned around and there was this freaking alligator just on the other side, just next to that glass on the street.
Gosh.
And it's completely, I was so crazy. And yeah, my dad was already awake. He was at the back of the room and just also pretty shocked. So yeah, this is also, I think this might be a bit frightening, but no, it's actually really cool.
No.
Can really,
We'll
no, not
put
with
my
that.
Yeah,
bands.
it's awesome.
Well, you know, I think if they offer these rooms, they have potentially thought about the security.
Yeah, pretty sure. It's probably
Yeah, for
like
sure.
six-sided glass or something. Six
Six
glass pieces thick, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely the strongest glass
Six
ever.
double. How you say it? Double glass? I don't know.
Is it security glass? 6-way or whatever.
Yeah, probably some airplane.
Yeah, I don't know. Bulletproof or whatever.
Yeah, bulletproof makes sense. Yeah.
So, but did you use inspiration for the hotel you're building here, or?
No, so this is, I have to say, this is just a separate hotel. Honestly, there aren't really any habitats right now in Koali Zoo that I think you could combine with something like this. Because, you know, if you do, you really have to include it from the ground up, you know, in the entire habitat designs. Because really in Paradise, that's where it starts. Like, these habitats are completely designed with these hotel rooms in mind. So for the wolves and the bears, for instance, you have this ridge with the rooms in it, and then on top of it you have the walkway where you can actually see the animals. And then on top of that, they also have some chicken coops. It's really interesting.
What?
I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah. There are just a few random small chicken coops in there as well. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, that's one of the places that you can stay. There's also a habitat with deer in it, where you can stay in like small houses, which is obviously less, you know, dangerous, if you will, in terms of the animals. But the deer do freely roam around your house, so they could like sit on your porch. At least I think they're deer. I'm not entirely sure.
That's cute.
But I think so. But yeah, this is all like the North American area of the park.
Wow, it really sounds like I have to go there once.
Yeah.
This is insane.
We have to. I really want to.
I mean, I just have to say that we are not sponsored by PyDDizer to say any of this. It's just very on topic.
Yeah.
But if PyDDizer is listening, we're down to do
Yes,
something.
Exactly.
definitely.
We're here. Hello. Oh my god. We can also just name that episode PyDDizer Talk.
But yeah, this hotel is very different from that. It's really just a standalone building. So yeah, it's not quite as special, but I'm still trying to make sure that it fits into the rest of the map. And honestly, I had to struggle
roof.
a bit to get into this. Oh yeah, a little bit of a custom roof, just because I needed to get this triangular thing poking out of the front entrance
I
here.
love that.
This is so
We have
cool,
these pieces exactly in the game with the thatch roof. Obviously, you would not use it, but we have these kind of roof pieces.
Yeah, no, that's true. And they're super good, and like exactly the kind of pieces that we need for the whole Koali theme.
Yeah, but
So
also in
it's kinda perfect.
different textures.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But honestly, this whole style of the building is already really cool. And the one thing you are delivering here, I think, is really great. This really hotel-ish feel and vibe to it. At first it's this kind of really tall rise building, you look at, but you have this kind of lobby appeal by this awning or kind of roof stitching out, and it still looks super cool with those roofs and central tower. Is this going to be having an elevator in the center?
Yeah, so like the general plan for this building for me was actually that this is kind of just a wing on the side, like the actual reception or restaurant or things like that I don't really have space for. So the central tower is realistically where the staircases would be and the elevators. I think it helps to like hide the elevator shafts, because elevators always stick out at the top of a building. And I am trying to make this building, in a kind of postmodern sense, resemble the traditional Indonesian architecture with those angled roofs. So it would be hard to fit an elevator in that kind of building, but this main sort of middle tower helps also hide what would be elevator shafts. So yeah, that's the general layout, just a simple, wing building, elevators and stairs in the middle, and then two wings on both sides with the rooms.
Beautiful.
I love those window frames, like this custom frames. It's so
really
cool.
Super nice.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that we have these stucco pieces and the separate glass pieces in the game now.
Oh
Like,
god, like
any window you can dream of, you could pretty much make it pretty easily. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and not that
really
many
awesome.
pieces. It's not like putting 20 gems in one window again. I don't know who would ever do
Yeah,
this in what
totally.
game, but
I mean, at the end of the day, by the end of this episode, this building has just over 4,000 pieces in total. So
Oh,
I mean, it's a
really?
lot, but it's also a very big building with a reasonable amount of detail. So honestly, it's less pieces than I thought at first it would have.
But
That's true, it
But
looks like
you've made 2 different hotels, right? Or is this the only one?
Yeah, this is the only one. You can actually see the other one in the background.
But are you not gonna use that one?
I think I won't. Honestly, the way that it went was I started out with the other one because the plan that I had in the first place was to make a very tall building. But then I built that and it didn't really feel like it fit inside the zoo. Obviously, the hotel building was going to be visible from the rest of the zoo because it's a really tall building, so you're going to have some sight lines, and I tried to work out a little bit from where you can see it. But I feel like the glass style just didn't really work out that well in the zoo. So I ended up switching to this style instead. You could just see the modern building in the back, and maybe there could be a use for that kind of thing one day. But for now, personally, I think this fits a lot better in the zoo.
Oh yeah, I definitely like the style of it. It looks beautiful. But I also really like the other building. You showed some pictures of it for those who don't know and think that I'm just judging from the back of this video. You shared
The
some
eagle eyes
pictures
of
of
lady.
it. It really looks gorgeous. I really like it. It's very modern. But this also, it looks very nice. I'm curious what you're gonna build now.
Can we just point out how clever that is, using those circles to have these perfect shapes? You lazy man, but
Yeah,
still,
I was never
this
gonna
is
do
so
this
clever.
piece by piece. That would have been horror.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
very
I-
smart.
This is very clever, and I love the way how you did these. I was like wondering if you built some small huts here, because like the resort feel kind of has this in mind as well. But nope, Sylph was going to do only kind of guidance to make a custom, what I could guess could be a pool or maybe a huge planter.
Yeah, so it's almost a pool. It's not actually gonna be a pool. It's gonna be sort of a centerpiece. The way that I was imagining this is it's gonna be a sort of compound of different buildings surrounding one central area. So you'll have the big tower with all the apartments, and then attached to that will be a building with the reception and restaurant and like other kinds of facilities, which is a much lower rise building. And then you can have some gardens on one side, or a gazebo, or other kind of facilities and things, and maybe even a section with small houses where you can rent one house or something. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but I wanted to have some sort of like central area where you can come back to and where everything connects, and that's what this is going to be, just the central kind of water elements. It's going to have some bridges over it as well, and lots of foliage around it.
Even bridges? Oh, that's so cool.
That is so amazing, Sylph. Really, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the shape of it. And
I was about to say,
exactly. Oh god, I tried to remember how our hotel was called on Hawaii, because actually the exact same thing as you were describing, that was our hotel exactly this way on Hawaii. It had the central tower, with all the big rooms in it, and also the suites, and then you had like the central area with the pool and stuff, and then attached to it there was like a golf course, and around the golf course you had all these huts, where you could have like a little bit cheaper and low rise area.
Right.
Oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is, this water
So
over
good.
here, because I did base the idea on, just looking up pictures of resorts and how they're usually laid out. And where this water is realistically where the pool would kind of be in a lot of these resorts. The problem is that this
Is
is...
that not in the backside?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The problem is that this is like totally the place where you arrive from inside the park. So it would be weird to like have the pool in front of the building from where you arrive from inside the park. So ideally, there could be a pool in this, in the next episode, because this episode is already getting too long. But if there would be a pool, it's going to be at the back.
I know someone who can make a
Hey,
pool.
that's a good point.
Have I ever made a pool in what?
Yes, you made a pool in Koali Beach.
I mean,
I know.
Check it out if
Yeah,
you haven't
for
yet,
sure.
because it's really cool. Obviously, you can't use it, but it's really awesome. I really love that swimming pool.
I mean, I think we have the basic pieces for it, because the same like round border pieces that I used for this central water element here could definitely be used to make a pool as well.
Yep.
Maybe with a few modifications,
Totally.
but it should be good.
Oh, definitely. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and this is this is where most of the pieces went. Not a
So
custom
many.
roof, no custom walls or anything. I just wanted this pavement.
I don't know if I should
floor.
like or hate you right now.
It's not that many pieces. I think
Oh my
it's a
goodness.
few thousand of these little tiles. But there are more pieces now than there will be, because I'm of course trying to work around these corners. But yeah, I wanted the path to like completely hug all of the corners and these curves everywhere. So it had to be custom. It just has to be. And then there will be an in-game one underneath this one.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That is so good.
Oh
man.
my
But they
gosh.
just love so incredible. They look just so incredible. It's really, I just totally love it.
Love it, yeah.
I'm losing my words. That's how much I like it. It's,
Oh my god, the
really
dedication to
insane.
do this kind of
Yeah, I'm
path
sorry
with
about
so
the
many pieces.
piece count, but
Plaza, I should say.
it's just this little texture is also
That's
too
all
good for
fine,
it. I was
you know.
scrolling through the items thinking, what could you build a path out of that I haven't tried before? And just the backside of these South American pieces just has such a nice texture that you can recolor just to have some variety in it. For me personally, the thing that also helps a lot is the fact that you don't see the texture repeat as much. If you build a really big square out of like in-game floor pieces, you can see the texture really repeating. And you could just start seeing all of these little squares all around it. And in this case, I slightly changed the color of some of the tiles and just kind of randomly, rotated these big swaths of paths around, so you don't really see a repeating pattern. And I know it's a really small thing,
No,
but
That's
definitely
cool.
I don't know,
Yeah,
I
that's
kind
really
of
cool.
like that as extra detail.
But you really tackled a good point here. This is like the randomized texture and randomized seamless texture one. I would love to see Frontier introducing that in maybe a future stage of the Cobra engine, because like I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Like usually how textures work is that you have this texture tile which is normally a square, and then you have all the sides, all 4 sides are seamlessly connected to each other, so that you can attach this to all sides, and it always creates a seamless kind of connection to each other. That's how it usually works. But there is also a way now, a more modern way, where like an algorithm has, let's say like 4, 8, 12, 16, whatever variants of it. And then it kind of has different textures in it that all work seamlessly together. But overall, they create a way bigger pattern until you see the repetitive texture to it. So basically, you're just adding 1 more file or 2 more files, and you just getting like whatever 1,000 more variations in it. And especially for maybe not for walls and pieces, but for like landscaping and ground texture, that would be awesome. Or like pathways, for example, because this is something that I really would love to see, especially because I think Planet Zoo and also Planet Coaster were built on a smaller scale. The more you zoom in, the more great the detail becomes. But if you zoom out a little bit, it gets a bit more repetitive.
Yeah, that's true. If you zoom out a bit, it's some plans really tend to be like super vague, as if you're on the lowest quality, like very quick, which is sad. Because it sometimes just doesn't look like a plant anymore if I want to make a screenshot.
I mean, that's also safe performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
I
that
can
is a
totally
good
understand
question.
that,
Like,
yeah.
what is the
True.
effect on performance?
But oh my god,
of, like
self.
having randomized textures?
And this is, there is a little bit of a debate going on because the modern graphics cards basically have no effect on that, because they have a bigger RAM and stuff where they can, I'm not like an expert on that, but at least what I got from what I was reading, they have more threads to load them in, and basically once this is loaded, they kind of combine them together. And since the overall quality of it is the same, and it doesn't matter if it is texture A or B, it always depends on how many pieces you would lay down or how big the area is. You know what I mean? If the JPEG file of version 1 is like, let's say, I don't know, 200 kilobytes, and you have like 200 of them, it's the same as if you have like 100 of file A or file B, and both of them have 200 kilobytes, because in combination they have the same amount of kilobytes to load in and to display. You know what I mean?
You lost me a bit. I'm so tired of trying to keep up, but
So it's mostly
you
fine,
lost
is what
me.
you're saying.
Yeah, it's mostly fine. It's just is a file more to load, but that's just once, one go, and then it's done. It doesn't have to load them in all the time because it's not randomized. But speaking of which, Frontier showed that they seem to be experimenting with stuff like that with, for example, the dynamic texture on the rocks, the jungle rocks, for example. So, yeah, it seems they are working on something like that already.
It sounds really cool.
But this pool, man.
I
Yeah,
really
I
love
think-
the planters. Oh, it's
Mr.
so
Plant
good.
Yeah,
will
I
be
think I'm
very,
gonna have to
very
like
proud of you.
make more use of this trick of making circles and just putting them everywhere and connecting the circles and removing the like bits that are left over, because honestly,
Oh my
it's
God.
surprisingly easy and not that time consuming to do, and just looking at these smooth curves going everywhere and putting some plants in the middle of it is just a really nice way to, finish up an area like this, especially because of course I wanted this pond in the middle to look completely artificial, but at the same time want to have a lot of foliage around it and not have it just be a boring square. So I think it's a nice middle ground.
Oh well, it's definitely not a square.
That's true. But I'm really questioning if that should become a pool, because it looks so beautiful and it is meant to be there. Maybe we have to have a separate pool. We do have some space there, so that shouldn't be an issue. Also, considering the fact that everyone can just look down into the pool area from the hotel, and it's kind of annoying for the people privacy-wise. I mean, okay, you're in a resort. What about privacy, anyways? But it's kind of, I don't know. It's just too beautiful to think about changing this, I guess. It's just looking
that's also the
perfectly
thing.
fine where
Like,
it is Sylph. It's awesome.
if it
really
were a
is
pool,
awesome.
it wouldn't be able to have as much of this foliage around it and have the same kind of planter situation going on. And I really just wanted to have that all, but honestly, at the back of the hotel on the other side, I think a pool would be really well suited to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. That really looks good to leave this area as it is, because it just looks really awesome. And man, I'm so gonna steal this circular trick. I'm so gonna steal that one.
Definitely. Oh, it's an amazing way to create planters.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
or
already thinking why you took so many small pieces for these circular things, but now obviously that makes sense to be able to delete them more precisely.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces,
oh my God,
and
so good.
honestly, you could do it with bigger pieces as well. For me, the thing is just I wanted these curves to be as smooth as possible and be able to like change the height as easily as possible as well. So they're all made out of little cubes, which is a bit much. Should have probably used pillars instead, but oh well.
It is what it is now. Also, you thought of the disabled people by adding a ramp. Yeah. I see you.
Of course.
So that's really good.
Very well done.
I hope so.
Many people will be very happy.
Yeah, for good reason. Oh God, these planters freak me out. It's like so good.
Yeah, it's this is going to be like the main sort of important area for this whole situation here. This is where the restaurant will be, and then hopefully a small area with some, parasols outside and a seating area and stuff. This is gonna have to come in later episodes because this episode is already becoming too long. Honestly, at first I was hoping that I could make this thing in one episode. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, this is where the restaurant and everything is gonna be, and then it's gonna connect to the big, building with the rooms as well on the side there. Cool.
And welcome to the Rudi dimension, not being able to do this because you started to do too much. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also Lady knows the same, so it's kind of, I think it's story of Koali as well.
I think there's
so
this
much
thing
to
where
do, so much we
you try to like have one certain topic for one video,
true.
and you try to finish it in one go, but then once you're building, you're just like, oh, but I could add this and I should add this, and that's not quite where it should be, and then things just quickly just spiral out of control, and you need more time to work on it.
But this is like how these games work, right? I remember that I said at the beginning of my ongoing project, okay, I made the mistake in the Planet Coaster times that I kind of worked too long on one area. I had like 4 videos about one area, for example. Like, hey, I have to do it like one-off builds. And I think I managed to do this like for 10 episodes, and then I was gone. You just cannot do this because some projects are just too big to fit them in one episode. Even if you cut, even if you speed them up too crazily. So yeah, for example, polar bear habitat can be done in two habitats.
Yes, polar bear habitats, also elephant
That's
habitats, reptile houses. Yes.
I mean, technically,
I can only
you're able
agree.
to fit anything in one episode if
So,
you're
yeah,
just
oh my
willing to
God.
make the episode long enough. But
Yeah.
I don't think we would survive that.
Yeah, well, technically, you don't have to record anything.
Oh, yeah.
You just finish a whole
That's also
zoo and
true.
then only record the zoo tour.
Or just keep it for
Technically.
yourself and enjoy it yourself. Just, sit at home and say, well done, lady. And then delete
God.
it and start over again. Imagine. God, this is
It
how we
is,
used to
though.
play. Actually,
I mean,
used to play
at the end of
games.
the day-
Oh my God.
I think even if you're
Yeah.
like making videos as a YouTuber, you should always build things just out of your own enjoyment. And if not for that, then why are you really doing it? So
Definitely.
yeah, like
definitely.
being able to just build
Definitely.
something for yourself and not even know whether anybody else is going to see it, but just enjoy the
Definitely.
process. That's the best and most important feeling, I think, of playing these kinds of games.
Yep.
All
I
right,
agree.
so yeah, that already
I
it's
agree.
been
It
It's
is.
already
half an hour.
over.
Jeez.
We did it. We did it.
We just needed to see
Yeah,
half an
yeah.
episode about Paradiser.
So, do you have cinematics or?
That's a really good point. I'm gonna record a few, but for you guys, no, I'm afraid not.
Okay. So you're gonna watch the episode.
That's how
It's
Phil
fine, it's
plugs
fine.
us in again. Yeah.
You're gonna have to skip. Yes. You're gonna have to skip to the end, and then I'll add a little voice clip saying, "Oh, you skipped to the end, didn't you?"
God, now you're really doing that.
No, I'm not gonna add that one in. But yeah, I'm gonna have to see what I can do. But to be fair, this is just a very unfinished project, so I'm not too happy to show it off yet. But next time, hopefully in the next episode that I'm gonna work on this, I'll be able to finish it, and it's gonna look like a cool resort.
It definitely does
Hope
already
so.
look very
Look
promising.
forward to it, Sylv. Very promising.
Oh god, that really puts the pressure on me. Jeez. So who's next, actually?
I think it's me.
Yeah, but you're going
No,
on
no,
a
I
holiday-ish?
stay. I'm here.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
go
So
anywhere.
then
Going on a
Rudi
holiday.
is-
I don't go anywhere. I would have gone to Greece actually. Well, yeah, today.
Ah.
17 minutes in today. But no, obviously we can't. So no, we stay at home. Yeah, that's how it is.
So do you have the week off then?
Yes, I have. I do. So time.
So he's
nice.
gonna shine. He's
don't
gonna build the
know.
whole African
I
safari.
don't know. I've got a lot of
The
stuff to do.
whole.
So let's see. I have. Well, yeah. We just
We'll be
talked.
fine.
We just talked briefly before the episode. So potentially, I'm really going to touch the safari tour, maybe, or just as a start. But yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Mr. Mike then, because I then have to know what he's doing with the lady's backside of the reptile house. So that's gonna be very interesting.
Good point.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, makes sense.
be excited next week. Will be good.
All right. Sounds like you have something to work on.
Well, I'm not bored. It's fine. Oh god. Oh, Sylv. Oh my god.
That's
This
good.
overview. This looks
What?
gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's out of
I'm
context
really
now.
looking forward to finishing
Oh,
it
that
the
looks
next time
really
as well.
nice. But
Yes.
shall we wrap it up? Because I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
how
yeah.
long you want to add
Okay, yeah.
cinematics.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna drag out the time lapse. Screw it. But yeah, we're really gonna have to wrap it up here. We're not gonna say anything useful anymore at this point, honestly. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry, by the way, for uploading this a week late. Honestly, last week I totally got wrecked by school stuff and I mismanaged my time management a lot. But yeah, I'm back on track and really looking forward to finishing this build. And hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Also, thank you, Lady and Rudi, for being here with me.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. And I guess we'll see each other all next week on Rudi's
Alrighty.
channel.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.